All right, so if you're a KRX owner, you know that the bed leaves a little bit to be desired. That's why SuperATV's came out with this trunk bed enclosure. It's lockable and easy to install, and today we're gonna show you how to get it installed. What's up everybody, my name's Braden Adams. Welcome back to my garage, and today we're gonna be showing you how to install SuperATV's trunk bed enclosure on this Kawasaki KRX. Here's the tools, let's get right to it. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is come to the back of your machine, go to the bed. You're gonna have 4 tie down points. You're gonna wanna remove all 4 of those bolts. Then you're gonna have 4 bolts. You're gonna have 2 on the sides, and then 3 push pins through the center on the cover, and then the last 2 bolts are gonna be on the side over here. So we'll go ahead and remove all of those now. Just grab all our hardware. We're gonna set it aside. All right, so now we're gonna grab the supports out of the kit. You're gonna make sure that this side that has the sharp bend is gonna go down in the forwardmost threaded holes where you previously removed the hardware and the tie down. You're gonna reutilize the stock hardware with the tie down and attach this to the bed just like so. We're just gonna hand tighten these. We're not gonna fully tighten them up yet, just to make sure that we get them in the correct position. Then you're gonna grab your side mount. This is gonna go where we previously removed the OE hardware from the sides of the bed. You're gonna reutilize the OEM hardware. It's gonna sit just like this. You may have to move this cover up out of the way. That's why we removed the push pins. That way we're able to access the bolts. So we can just lift the cover up a little bit, install our bolts, and you can go ahead and tighten these down. Now we're gonna grab the rear panel, the provided 8mm bolts, as well as the 2 spacers. We're gonna lay the rear panel in, but we need to make sure that we place the spacers over top the threaded holes in the bed, and then the bolts will drop down through with the factory tie downs installed as well. Now we'll just go ahead and tighten up the hardware. Now we're gonna grab the trunk bed enclosure, lay it into position. So before this is gonna fully sit down in here, we need to remove the latch bracket, 2 4mm Allens with a 10mm nut on the backside. We're gonna lift the trunk bed enclosure up. You're gonna grab 2 of your 4mm Allens that are included in the kit, and then 2 of the M6 nylock nuts. And then you're just gonna drop the hardware down through the trunk bed enclosure and align it with the side bracket. Once you have your hardware started through, just go ahead and start a nut on the bottom side. Repeat the same steps for the passenger side. I'm just gonna take a Phillips screwdriver. You can use a punch just to help line everything up. Now we're gonna attach the support brackets that we previously installed to the trunk bed enclosure. All right, so now we're gonna lift up the rear portion of the trunk bed enclosure and install the gasket in between the rear panel and the trunk bed enclosure. As you can see, it's got holes all the way down through it. We just wanna make sure that we line our holes up. Now we're gonna take our latch bracket and install it on the back side, utilizing the previously removed hardware. Again, we're gonna use our Phillips screwdriver just to get our holes lined up. Take the latch bracket and slide it on the hardware. and install our nuts. Put our corner hardware in. Now that we have all our hardware started, what we're gonna do is take trunk bed enclosure and close it, and we're gonna try to latch it. If it doesn't latch, we're gonna have to adjust this nut here. So just loosen the nut, and you're gonna wanna thread it in if it's not latching all the way, and if it's latching too loose, you're gonna wanna thread it out. So ours isn't latching at all, so what we're gonna do is tighten this down in here a little bit. We're just gonna crack the jam nut loose and then thread our bolt in until we get it to latch to where it's fully secured. So right there, it latches nice and tight. Now we're just gonna lock our jam nut down, and that's gonna set our adjustment. Now we're gonna go through, fully tighten all of our hardware, make sure everything's good and tight, and we'll install our struts. So now when we're going to install our struts, we wanna make sure that on the upper portion of the strut is the outside with the stud facing in, and the lower is gonna have the strut facing towards the outside. So another awesome feature of the SuperATV trunk bed enclosure is that it is lockable. So you can take your key, pop it in, lock it. Now you can't get into it. So this is great to be able to lock items up while you're on the trail. So now that everything's fully tightened, just make sure you go back through and reinstall your push pins in your front cover. You can still access all of them. Just have to reach through. All right, so that's all there is to it to install SuperATV's trunk bed enclosure on this Kawasaki KRX. Be sure to check the description below to pick yours up today. And while you're there, drop a like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.